Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. Today, we're going to talk about fitness over 50. All right, so there are two primary ways you can go at this. You can do it from an exercise point of view, so you're just moving, or you could do it as a training, so you're continually trying to improve. And it really depends on your goals. And it's the same thing for nutrition, but we'll get to that. So if your goal is to just maintain or lose some weight, you can go on about exercising, and whether it's walking or it's Pilates or it's weightlifting or whatever it is you enjoy. Maybe it's just playing tennis or it's dancing, whatever that is. So it's not really a measurable type of exercise, right? You could go for further steps or whatever, but that gets into training. So that's when you start to measure what you're doing. So the difference is you've got all this exercise, so that's keeping you at status quo. And maybe you're increasing it to start to lose some fat and to see some differences. But if you're training, you're actually going after those measurable goals. So for instance, I might work out with weights. If I just use 5 pounds and I forever stayed at 5 pounds, yes, I'm working my muscles, but they're not going to grow and they're not going to change. They're just going to stay the same. Versus if I say, okay, I started out this month at 5 pounds and I want to steadily increase that so I can start to increase my results. And maybe I end the month at 10 pounds. And then next month I start at 10 pounds and I want to get up to 15 pounds. And so I've got these little measurable goals, or maybe it's 12 pounds. You decide how rapidly you want to see these results. Let's take in a walking example. Maybe your average daily steps are 5,000, but you want to start seeing that weight fall off or the fat fall off, so you want to start to increase it to 7,000 steps a day. Or you want to walk for 20 minutes and then you go to 30 minutes. See, we have a measurable goal, so we start to increase and track our levels so that we know that we're continuing to increase. Now, the problem with cardio is there's only so much you can increase, right? You're certainly not going to go from an hour a day to an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 hours. So that's why I really like strength training. You can increase the weights and keep the timing the same. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I usually do weights. And I only keep it to 30 to 45 minutes because I don't have all day to spend on it. That's the allotted time. So if I keep increasing the weight I lift, and not huge amounts, then it's more manageable, but I still start seeing results. So I'm going to be the first one to say, I have been doing this for about 6 years or so. And while initially I lost a bunch of fat and I lost a bunch of weight, I can see over time, I went too easy on myself. I started getting comfortable with the same weights and I didn't really want to push myself. It wasn't about thinking that I was going to get bulkier, because I knew as a woman, I don't have enough testosterone to be building giant muscles. That really our muscle tone starts to show through as the fat sheds off and it's actually, buried under some of the fat layers in there. But I really didn't challenge myself enough. I got very comfortable where I was. So I decided that I started to need to train more, which means I'm starting to write down what weights I'm using to make sure that I am ever increasing. And this is where you want to go. If you're interested in really progressing with your workouts, you need to start tracking them. You need to start training. And along with training, like any athlete, we have to fuel our bodies. So it's not just about exercising and eating, it's training and fueling. There's 2 types of fueling. One, you're just eating just to continue living and you just keep on trucking, right? And you can do that for performance too. You want to make sure that you're getting what you need. So a good, healthy carbs, that's what our body prefers for fuel. And it's important that you get some of that and that you keep on trucking forward. But that level is for performance. It can be measured. You can use a tracking app and measure that. That's fine. Or you can just say, okay, I'm going to make out a meal plan for the entire week that has the macronutrients that I need. And I'm going to do that, eat the same foods every day and do it that way. You can do it for aesthetics. You can do it because you want to look a certain way. So let's say that you want to drop some fat and you said, okay, I need to have this level of macronutrients to support the weightlifting or the walking or whatever it is you're choosing to do, and you base it on that. So you have to choose your goals. Are you exercising and eating, or are you training and fueling? And obviously there's some crossover there. We're not robots, and we're not going to always do everything perfectly fine. And in fact, I would encourage you to have the treats so you don't feel deprived. Life is very short. We really don't want to walk around feeling miserable all the time. So right now in my training plan, it calls for eating fish every night, for 5 ounces of fish every night for dinner for this week. Unfortunately, I don't love fish unless I'm at the ocean. I just can't get myself to eat previously frozen fish or fish that's not fresh. It tastes too fishy. I do not like salmon, and this has been a real problem for me. So last night I'm like, maybe I'll have shrimp. It's similar in macros and nutrients, and you know what? I had to have frozen shrimp because I don't live near the sea, and I could barely gag it down. So, you know what? Tonight I will probably just stick with some lean chicken. You have to decide what you're willing to do to get to your goals and what's reasonable. We want to have a quality of life, and the goal for me is always so that when I get older, I want to be mobile. I want to be vivacious and fun. I want to go out with my grandkids and have tons of energy. I want to be in my later life really just having fun. That's my goal. It isn't to be super thin. It isn't to be looking younger, anything like that. I just want to be mobile. Many in my family, as they got older, lost their mobility, my dad died at 72, I believe it was, of heart and kidney failure. That heart disease was absolutely manageable, but he didn't manage it. And I want to be different. My mom had ALS, so obviously there's nothing she could have done differently. And she was a pillar of strength. She worked out until the day she died. And she fought back against that disease until the muscles really deteriorate. And she fought back against that by doing band workouts and weightlifting until she just couldn't do it anymore. And her body just gave out. And then my grandfather lived to 103 years old and was still mobile. So there is a lot of longevity in my lifetime, in my family, and I want to get there. I want to be mobile. However long I'm blessed to live, whatever God sees fit for me, I want to take the best care I can so that I can stay active. I can't think of anything less exciting than getting older and not being able to move around. I am blessed to work with a lot of women when I teach water fitness, and a lot of men who are in their advanced years, their 80s and their 90s, who are still coming to class, still kicking butt. That is going to be me. Whether I have muscle tone, whether I don't have muscle tone, whether I'm flabby or whatever it is, I want to be mobile. So make the choice for yourself, whatever it is that's good for you. No matter what, we still want to remember that we want to fuel our bodies with a good amount of protein every day and some healthy carbs and some healthy fats for our brain. It's good for our brain. We love that. We want to be cognitive as well as be able to move around. We want to hydrate our bodies. So many of us are dehydrated, especially with these high temperatures that have been around a lot. Make sure that you're getting good hydration. In the CrossFit world of nutrition, they always say drink whenever you're thirsty. In other nutrition classes, we have been taught that we want to get at least half our body weight in ounces. I always go for a gallon. I'm always thirsty because once you start drinking lots of water, you're going to be more thirsty because your body just starts to crave that. I also take a pinch of Celtic salt to make sure that my electrolytes are where they need to be. And I also have electrolyte tabs if I feel like, since I do work outside a lot, that if I feel like I need that extra boost, that's there. So we move, we fuel, we hydrate, and we stay healthy. I hope that you find this helpful. It's not really a technical discussion today. If you want more information and you want to decide how you're going to calculate your macros or what you need to do, feel free to reach out to me for free. I will leave my email address below and I will help you in any way that I can. But just really go over your goals and make sure that you're actually moving forward towards those goals and not just fooling yourself into thinking that you are, because I have been there and I understand how that works. So I send you lots of love. I pray for each and every one of you, and I am here for you. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you ask any questions that you have. I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. And have a wonderful day. I will be back with you on Sunday for more recipes. Love you. Bye.